So peptide in a pill, there is no device needed like injectable device. The cost is reduced from that point of view. No sterile production issues. And the diabetic history starts in 164 AD when he thought it's a kidney. And 1870, when the Franco-Russian war started, those people who have got 2 breads and those people who got 10 breads, because of food rationing, those people got less bread, they developed less diabetic complications, and they had less glycosuric symptom. 1848, liver glycogen hypothesis, and you all know that in 1921, the whole focus shifted from the kidney to food, food to liver, liver to pancreas, now pancreas to kidney again, and incretin therapy. So this is the whole journey of GLP-1 receptor agonist, 1902 from Belize. And after 90 years, the Excedrin 4 was isolated. And it came from the surgeon. The basic idea came from the surgeon. So here is a man, 44-year-old woman, had some tumor somewhere else in the kidney, and she had a lot of diarrhea, losing weight. When the tumor was excised, her symptom improved because there was low secretin, and the hormone was detected to be glucagon. This glucagon-like peptide is secreted from the L cells and it induces insulin secretion from the beta cells. It has got a long half-life, when you use an injectable form or oral form, but very short half-life if you do not modify, you do not put enhancer there. Nicola is the first lady who tried to solve the jinx of having incretin in the form of subcutaneous injections, but she died, unfortunately, Nicola. Then Michael Nock took it forward. So that time it was only intravenous. And we all learn from the nature, this is a Gila monster who eats only 2 to 3 times in a year. 2 to 3 times in a year, and she stores all her energy on her tail. And from there, saliva, the basic concept, the appetite suppression came, and in 2016, the leader trial led the path of having GLP for CVOT outcome. We love everything which comes in a package formula, and once in a week formula, or once in a month formula, once in a year formula, or once in a lifetime formula like genetic editing for atherosclerosis. We are moving forward, and this is now reality now. The insulin will be available in a once in a week. So there are many errors in predicting the future. The X-ray will prove to be hoax. Lord Kelvin, president of the Royal Society in 1883, it doesn't matter what he does, he will never amount to anything. Einstein teacher to his father, 1895, there is not the slightest indication that nuclear energy will ever be obtainable in Einstein's knowledge in 1932. I think there is a world market for maybe 5 computers, etc. And there are many predictions which has gone wrong. And injectable antidiabetics in form of oral insulin, oral GLP-1, and oral PCSK9 for atherosclerosis is not a reality. Now we know these all are reality now. And in 2019, many things happened. Trump impeachment was there, Nobel Prize from my friend, my brother, Abhijit Banerjee from Calcutta, Notre Dame fire, and Hong Kong protest. And this was semaglutide, which started in 2008. The Novo first made the public announcement that they are investing huge amount on oral insulin, but later on they dumped the idea because the amount of insulin you have to use with enhancer, it is not worth investing in oral insulin because biostability was an issue. And they applied for regulatory authority, and they bought one company as a co-investor, Hemisphere Alingen Technology, and the master of SNAC, our enhancer molecule till today. And they had this initially started with vitamin B12, and 2019 COVID era, 20th September, US FDA gave the approval for oral semaglutide. And in November 2020, Novo Nordisk bought this company for $1.8 billion. Now, why this molecule is so costly in the market? If you have 1% bioavailability of any particular molecule, 99% you lose in your gut, and it lost in the gutter. Whereas the injectable peptide, the API cost is not that much, like injectable liraglutide, etc., because of the viability. So this is my first patient in India who got this oral semaglutide before it was launched initially, and he's still continuing. Most of the drug market is on peptides. They have only 1% in small molecule. And we have oral octreotide and oral PCSK9, as I told you. This is the enhancer snack. And once you take with water, it helps in the absorption. If you take too much of water, that also hampers the basic philosophy. So you have to take only 120 ml of water in complete empty stomach and nothing after you're taking this molecule, oral semaglutide, ribelsa 3, 7, and 14. It gets absorbed, it goes in the blood. The previous speaker has shown that. So it alters the local pH, and this is the snack. It's available in 3 milligram, 300 milligram, 7 milligram, 300 milligram, and 14 milligram also contains exactly the same amount of the snack. So you cannot break it because the snack molecule will also get reduced. So they have tried other means of enhancer like 5-synap, Eligen for oral insulin, that was a failure. They tried the liraglutide. It was again failure. So oral semaglutide goes with 300 milligram snack only. You cannot have other molecules with snack. And as I mentioned, you cannot break it. You cannot make it more economic by breaking this tablet. Now let's understand the maths of having this viability 0.001%. And if you put the snack, it makes 1,000 times better. So it becomes 0.1%. Enzyme stability make it 100 times better, become 10%, and increase the potency 5 times, make it 50%. It's just like, if you're taking this molecule 7 milligram for 7 days, becomes 49 or 50 milligram, 1% means 0.5 milligram, that becomes equivalent to your injectable oral semaglutide 0.5 milligram. If you take 14 milligram for 7 days, it becomes 98 milligram. So divide by 10, this is 1 milligram equivalent to your oral semaglutide. And 3 milligram in 7 days doesn't make sense. And there are many trials, 24 clinical pharmacological trial, 10 phase 3A trial, 1 phase 2 trial, and 5,000 patients exposed. What the data says? Data in meta-analysis says that if you compare all the GLP-1, Elixir, Leader, Sustain, Excel, Harmony, Rewind, Pioneer 6, and Amplitude O, recently, there is incremental benefit. The MACE is reduced, stroke, death, and MI. You analyze this data in whatever format the MACE is reduced. On the left side, it includes Pioneer 6, that's oral semaglutide. Though the trial is small, hospitalization for heart failure, it is unique for some oral GLP-1, all-cause death for some GLP-1. As I mentioned, that if you see this curve, it gets separated not very early like SGLT2. You have to continue this drug for a longer period of time. And it does reduce cardiovascular death and all-cause mortality, but the trial is very small, doesn't have much power like mega trial, like Leader trial. If you compare with other trial like Sustain 6, where it shows mainly the stroke benefit, but we are catching up with newer data. So if you summarize all the GLP-1 data, there is 21% reduction of MACE, 51% reduction of CV death, and we are almost 51% away from immortality of human being. If you really want to live longer, with anti-diabetic drugs, the two drugs can make you live longer, that is SGLT2 plus oral GLP-1 or injectable GLP-1, and they deserve a Nobel Prize. They have already won the best prize in the field of drug development. I'm sure they will get this because they deserve it. There are many benefits: NASH, obesity, CKD, Alzheimer's disease. No dose adjustment is required in CKD or liver disease. And other medication, 33% increase in L-toxin. So be careful. Body weight does get reduced. You have other trials, semaglutide oral, non-obese patients, non-diabetic patients. We have to wait for that. If you reduce body weight by 15%, you get diabetic remissions. But 5% is good enough. It is much better than any other GLP-1, better than your empagliflozins. If you have this Pioneer and Sustain 6, if you do the meta-analysis, there is 24% reductions of your MACE. If you reduce if you have other pleiotropic benefits like LDL reductions comes from GLP, inflammation comes from the GLP, glucose and A1C, TTR comes from the GLP, and perhaps anticoagulant effect also comes from the GLP. So inflammation, CRP reductions, gut inflammations, everything is important, and these can come in one packet, one basket, that is oral GLP-1. We are also moving to new mechanism of accelerated atherosclerosis, also oral semaglutide works on there, and it does reduce CRP, and it does increase the heart rate, and it increases the heart rate, not to that extent it will cause there is a different mechanism, and you know that if you are moving towards, if you are using this drug, perhaps the human being is moving towards a path of immortality. Thank you very much for your kind attention.